that we Pakistani universities should have the offshore campuses. In this regard, I will only focus regarding the offshore campus, how difficult or how much hurdle we face, and certainly there are challenging tasks while establishing the offshore campus. Since ZABIST has an offshore campus for the last 20 years, more than 2 decades, I think that I can share my experience, as I have been associated with ZABIST University for more than 10 years, and I visited our Dubai campus several times. This is a time when I think this is my moral and ethical responsibility to share some of my experience, so that whosoever in Pakistani university desire to open offshore campus, they must keep in mind all the points which I am going to discuss in this video. I think that I will talk about with related to Dubai campus, because we have the campus in Dubai. But whatever the points I will discuss, that is applicable to everywhere, right? So let me start with points. There are 6 points which have to be considered before you think to open an offshore campus. I am talking about all the universities existing in Pakistan, right? Point number 1, in Dubai there is a free zone where the Dubai International Academic City exists. So in short we call it DIAC, DIAC, and that is in the free zone of Dubai. And if you just visit DIAC, so you may see 40 plus campuses of international universities. Mostly are from UK, USA and Indians, Some of the campuses are so huge, including Indian campuses are so huge, and carrying a best IT infrastructure and best modern infrastructure, I would say. For example, I would take the name of Manipal University, that is an Indian university, BITS Pilani, and MET University. These are existing there with a huge infrastructure. And our campus, of course, is not that much big. It's a very small campus situated in the building, and in that particular building there are other international campuses running as well. There is a regulatory body called KHDA, which is abbreviated for Knowledge Human Development Authority. KHDA regulates all the universities in DIAC. In fact, the university existing in DIAC, that is in the international city, they have a choice either to go under KHDA or to go under Ministry of Education UAE. And there is a difference why they go towards MOE, Ministry of Education. So I will let you know in this current video later. But I am just mentioning you the basic NOC's requirement. Either you can seek the NOC from KHDA to operate within the DIAC, and outside the DIAC there is no choice, you have to get the NOC from Ministry of Education. So that is the formation of your campus internationally, especially in Dubai, because I am talking about Dubai only. I met with 2 different head of the campuses, Indian campuses, and I visited their campuses officially. I have the first-hand information which I want to share with you. Number 1, that there is no Higher Education Commission in India. There is only UGC, University Grants Commission, like we had before 2003 in Pakistan. And what I came to know that UGC has a very little interferences in the affairs of the universities. They have given full academic freedom and autonomy to their universities to design their curricula according to their objectives and need. University are, you can find the different curricula in different universities in the same program. And their performances is mainly judged, that how their graduates are performing in the real life. That is the main criteria for judging any university's performance. So that should be the case. In our case, perhaps we don't. Similarly, since India has successfully promoted the education, higher education, especially within India and outside India, so which means their model is working or seems to be working fine. So why not we should adopt the same model? We should take out, or we should forget about the conventional classical system what we are following in Pakistan. Unfortunately, it is not creating any impact globally, right? So when we are thinking to internationalize the Pakistani campuses, and we have this realization, we cannot work in silo. That's what we concluded in the conference. I would like to mention these things in much detail. So I am going point by point. We should need to overhaul the entire education system in Pakistan from primary to PhD. That's what I have my humble opinion. I am in this academics for the last 42 years and have taught in many universities, and I've been working as a vice president Zabist for more than 10 years. So this is my humble suggestion, that we need to overhaul the entire education system in Pakistan from primary to PhD. Right. The point number 2, as I said earlier, that the university in Dyke have a choice to go either to register themselves or to get the NOC from KHDA, or to get the NOC from Ministry of Education UAE. That's their choice. So most of the universities go towards KHDA because KHDA have some little flexible policies, and that's not so much strict. MOE policies are very strict and their regulatory requirements are very tough. So most of the universities in Dyke have choice, of course, to go towards KHDA and MOE, but most of the universities go towards the KHDA. Now, why the universities go towards MOE? That is the point. So the reason is that if you are associated with MOE, or you are being regulated by MOE, you can attract the local Arab students for admissions, because there is a government policy there that the citizen of UAE, if they want to get government job, this is essential for them to get the degree from such university which is regulated by Ministry of Education UAE. So that's why if you are targeting to attract the local nationals, so then you have to associate with Ministry of Education UAE, right? If you are operating within Dyke and you are connected with KHD only, so it means most of the Arabs will not apply to you for admissions. So then you have to rely on other nationalities like Indians, Pakistanis, Filipinos, Sri Lankans, and there are so many other nationalities living there. So this is my point, and certainly you will keep this in mind. You also need to know about the demography of UAE. For example, there are 26 lakh Indians, which means 2.6 million Indians are living there, and the second largest community is Pakistanis, which is around 15 lakh or 1.5 million. Now, in India, Indian families are living there, belong to upper middle class or the rich families. So mostly they are residing in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, right? So if you happen to visit Dubai sometimes, so you will see that as if you are in some of the Indian cities. So they have made their major impact, and they have a strong footprint in Dubai. Also, they have the footprint in Abu Dhabi as well. If you look at the Pakistani community, they are more focused or concentrated in Sharjah and Ajman for the quite obvious reasons that our community living there belong to lower middle class or the poor families, or mostly they are engaged in the blue collar jobs. So they cannot afford to live in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. So they are living in Sharjah, Ajman, Ras Al Khaimah. These are the states which are least expensive as compared to Abu Dhabi and Dubai. So that is second point which I wanted to mention. Point number 3 is that Indians have worked with a great vision. They have internationalized their system many years ago, and perhaps we were sleeping, and we are still sleeping, unless we wake up and we ask our policymakers and HEC's authorities that perhaps they may wake up. So this is a problem. We don't have any footprint like India has already made in that region. And our policymakers have a very narrow vision. Probably they think that if they open a campus offshore, so they will perhaps provide the facilities to the Pakistani community, and that's all. This is one thing, one aspect, very little aspect, that our aim is to support the Pakistani community living there. But you see that when you open any campus abroad, so you make your influence there, your values are introduced there, your social impact is made, your culture is introduced. So there are many advantages, and you can see that why Indians are leading everywhere in the world, because they have made their footprints according to certain vision, which unfortunately we couldn't make it. I have also found several Pakistani students studying in Indian universities. If we would have provided the chances, we would have so many Pakistani universities, campuses there. So perhaps those Pakistanis could be our students, right? So this is point number 3. Now I come to point number 4, and this is the most important point. I understand that all we should know, right? Now, as per HEC requirement, we are bound to offer a 4-year degree program there, 4-year undergraduate degree program there, right? But you see that in the dike, most of the universities offer 3-year undergraduate degree programs, because KSDA allow them 3-year degree program. And also at the entry level, those universities admit the students with 2 A-level passes, and we ask for 3 A-level passes. Again, if somebody apply for admission to us and he or she does not have 3 A-level passes, so we lose a number of candidates at the entry side. So this is again a problem, because most of the universities are giving admission in dike with 2 A-level passes. These are the 2 bottlenecks, or I would say that these are the problems which certainly we have to face. What is the remedy of it? Then I will come to the point in my next discussion. Now, the most painful side of this, suppose if I admit someone with 2 A-level passes, so certainly the Pakistani student studying with me will not be able to get the IBCC equivalency, and without IBCC equivalency, perhaps HEC does not attest the documents. This is problem. And suppose if I offer a 3-year degree program, again this is not allowed by HEC, I lose number of students, because I can tell you one example. Very close to my Zabist Dubai campus is the campus of Curtin University, which is is an Australian brand. They offer a 3-year duration program, the same degree program which we offer of 4-year duration there, and we charge 22,000 dirham per year, to the student for tuition fee, and they charge 28,000 dirham per annum as a tuition fee. So if you multiply 22,000 by 4, that becomes 88,000 dirham in 4 years' time. And if you look at Curtin University side, the students pays 84,000 in 3 years' time. So again, going to Curtin University is financially viable and feasible for the student. And not only this, but they save 1 year time, precious time, and of course they are getting the Australian brand. So now you see that how the student can apply to me with these sort of facilities available just in the vicinity of Zabist Dubai campus. So that is one of the reasons, and that is also very crucial, and why we are not able to get too many students. We are just getting the students just to survive in Dubai campus. This is the fact, real fact, and I think many of you might be knowing this. This is certainly the case where Zabist has been facing it for the last so many years. The most painful side again of this aspect is that if the student who is admitted to me with 4 years duration and with 3 A-level passes, if the same Pakistani students would have gone to Australian Curtin University campus, his degree would have been completed in 3 years' time, and certainly he would have been admitted with 2 A-level passes. Now, if he or she applies to HEC for equivalence, so HEC provides very easily the equivalence to that degree, and if I do the same, so my degree is not attested. So I have to have, or I am bound to offer a 4-year degree program and to enter the admissions at 3 A-level passes. So this is the reality, and these are the reasons where we lose or we survive just with a very few number of students. The students who are very conscious about to admit in Pakistani universities, so we are the only choice remain in the whole Dubai academic city. Right. Point number 5 again is very important to know. In the speeches from the learned speakers, I heard that most of the speakers saying that we should ask federal HEC to make a friendly offshore campus policy. Yes, this is important. Of course, this is important, but that is not enough only. Why? Because what Indians have done, that we have to follow. Even suppose HEC, federal HEC comes up with a friendly offshore campus policy, which doesn't seem to be, happening because of the people, their mindset, the people sitting there, they will not be convinced for the 3-year degree program for the offshore campuses, I'm sure. But suppose by any means we can convince them and they allow 3-year degree program, still the requirement will not be fulfilled. The reason is why? The reason is that when you look at the KSDA perspective, so KSDA says that whatever the program you offer at the offshore campus, that must have been offered at your mother campus in your country. So certainly we can't offer 3-year degree program in Pakistan. So there is again a catch, there is again a difference between the two formats. So KSDA doesn't allow this. So this is the problem. This is again a bottleneck from KSDA side. So how the Indians are operating there? So you see, this is the punch line, and we have to see it very closely. The matter is that in India, they have given the complete offshore campus policy with certain vision, and they have done the legislation through their assemblies, right? And this is not the matter between HEC and KSDA, but they have done the agreement from government to government. They are more serious. So have taken the flexibility from the local authority that you will not ask our universities if they offer the 4-year degree program in the country and 3-year degree program in the offshore campus. So that's why Indian campuses are flourishing. And this is ensured through the legislation process that the universities, Indian universities I am talking about, if they are operating in DIC, they are full liberty to make the curriculum according to their objectives and their plan. So, as I already told you, that they have got complete freedom. There is no, sort of interferences, what we see in the case of our federal HEC, So that is a real fact. I'm sorry if somebody minds this, so I'm really sorry, but I'm here to give you the actual facts, bitter facts, which certainly we have to see and very closely. Another point, last point, but not the least, very important point, that since we are just focusing to establish the higher education institutions, degree awarding in our offshore campuses, but we should not forget that there is a big demand of schools and colleges as well. There are very little number of Pakistani schools and colleges, due to which there is a problem, a real problem to our Pakistani communities, especially living in Sharjah and Ajman and Ras Al Khaimah. Problem is that there are various schools. I can tell you some statistics through which you can understand. I'm just talking about the Dubai statistics, but that is applicable to other states as well. For example, in Dubai, there are 82 schools from UK based, and their total enrollments is 132,740. These many students are registered in their 82 schools which are UK based. There are 34 schools, the American schools, where the total registration is 95,268 students. When we come to India, so there are 40 Indian schools where the total registration is 53,286 students. So there is a long list. If you come down again, there are schools locally built by Ministry of Education. There are 16 such schools in Dubai, and their total registration is 15,689. Okay. If you further come down, you will see 6 Iranian schools having the registration of 6,939 students. For Pakistanis, there are only 2 Pakistani schools in Dubai, where the total registration is just 2,218 students. So this is the situation in Dubai, and more or less the same situation is there in Sharjah and Ajman and other places. So we have very less number of schools, and for the Pakistani community living there, they cannot afford the UK or USA based schools, American schools. Those are very, very expensive. Perhaps 90% of the community cannot afford to go to their, send their children to those schools. And I have seen that the Pakistani communities are also reluctant for their children to join Indian schools, especially for the girls. So then there is no choice left except for few Pakistani schools to join, and certainly whatever I've seen there, the quality of in our schools as well is not up to that standard, and the capacity is also a problem. So we need to open schools and colleges as well in those regions. So these are the very important points, and I think I have covered almost all the points. So my message is that please go through all these 6 points before you discuss or before you desire to establish any offshore campus, maybe at a school, maybe at the level of schools, college, or university. But in the case of university campus, certainly I have given my detailed descriptions that what bottlenecks and what challenges you will have to face. So I am thankful once again that the Association of Private University Sector of Pakistan, that is APSUP, has been taking the lead, and I am really thankful to Professor Dr. Chowdhry Abdul Rehman. I hope that the mission we have collectively started, that will not stop. The journey we have started will continue till we achieve our destination, no matter how many speed breakers come in the way. But this is the only survival for Pakistani education in the world arena. Okay. Thank you very much for watching.